Hello everybody. I am not at the farm, as you can see. I'm on the road, and I have something that I want to show you that I picked up 2 hours from the farm. So the story of this trip actually dates back to 2 weeks ago when the YouTube algorithm finally picked up one of our videos after about 3 months of posting and speaking to what seemed like the air. The algorithm picked up our video on baling. It was a successful time baling, but as the views built up, I think it's at about 13,000 views, and commentators kept commenting about all the things that were broken. One thing stood out because I already knew that it needed fixing, but the comments that came in made me think that now was the time to make it happen. No, I have not yet sharpened the knives. Thank you to those of you who pointed out that the knives and the baler need to be sharpened. No, I have not yet strung the twine correctly. I've been doing like that for 4 years now. It seems to work. If you want to explain to me how the twine is supposed to be strung correctly, please comment on the video, let me know, and I'll get that fixed too. No, I have not hired a strong teenager to stack the bales so that there's less tension on the bales. My own oldest is 13. He's getting stronger. He's better at kicking down the bales than throwing them at this point. So it's not that either. All great comments. That one came from somebody in Australia, of all places. So what is it that I've picked up here then? This is the bale thrower, and those who made the comments know what was broken. This is a roller right here. And the bearing on this side is totally shot, and it was rubbing metal against metal, and it's been doing that for a while, so it's really worn down. Well, I visited St. Joseph's Equipment, our local shop for New Holland products, and priced out a new one, $1,200, which I think is how much I paid for the baler. I don't think that was going to happen. There is an aftermarket part that was $345, but that needed to be machined to make it fit my particular baler, and that's really pricey too. So I got on the internet and I started poking around. I found actually a twin to my baler, and it was on the other side of the state. There was a live auction. I almost bid on it, but it looked so rusty, and I was thinking about how I could lose a tire on the way home, and I couldn't bring myself to bid on it. Then I happened to get upon this guy on Craigslist who takes apart balers, and he had some other throwers listed, so on a whim I gave him a call. And guess what? He had parts for my exact baler, so I went and I drove 2 hours and I picked up this part. So here we go. The top half of my bale thrower. Definitely a rusty piece of junk, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And Tyson's parking lot, because man, that looks rusty, and I think I need some penetrating oil. So one stop before I go home. Well, here's what I'm looking for. It's on sale too. My lucky day. This thing is not light. Well, I have it in here. I have my old can of penetrating oil. This is where it's going to go, right where this roller was. And here's the piece of junk that I bought. My plan right now before lunch is just to get some penetrating oil on these rusty screws so that hopefully I can get this new old roller off and put it on my current thrower. that wasn't too bad. All right, old one, loose, new one, looks a lot rustier, but it's in one piece. If this works, it's gonna be a huge improvement. You know, I may have said this in the earlier video when I was haying, but this was one of the biggest obstacles, and I guess continues to be one of the biggest obstacles to me coming into farming with no experience, having grown up in town. These gears, this old equipment, it's a mystery to me. Once I see how it works, once I've taken it apart, it's different, but there's a lifetime worth of experience that I'm totally missing here, that I'm having to learn on the fly. Who knew that this is how it worked? You know, with a solid piece here and the roll happening in here. I had no idea. I was just using it. But experience is a good teacher, I guess. Let's see if I can put this together now. First stupid idea of the day, at least that I'm aware of. There's a lot of tension on this belt. Even with the tension fully released, there's a lot of tension. So I have these cheap plastic clamps, and I thought, well, maybe I'll bring it up so that I can put both bolts in with these. Well, this one now lacks the tightening handle. I'm so close. Well, there's stupid idea number 2. Of course, this expands in order for the bale to eject. So instead of bringing it closer together, I've just expanded the space between my 2 conveyors. Let me try again.
Riding to one side.
Well, the expert's here now, so we're gonna get it figured out. All right. Here, I'm moving this a little bit that way. Bushing goes on the outside. Oh, it's so close. Up just a little.
Just tap it a little bit more.
Oh, I do have a little bit more. Where's the wood?
There you go.
Get it in quick before we lose our tension. Well, there. We're not done yet, but at least the part that has tension on it is in. With the help of the floor jack. Definitely not the plastic clamps. Was that a good idea? Plastic clamps?
Oh, no.
All right, so we're a little worried about the wobble. I think we've corrected it. I think we've got the tensioner about the way it should be. Now I'm gonna shoot some bales through and see how they do. Now it's not aimed at the hay wagon, simply because I don't have a hydraulics to make the kicker go where it wants to go, and we're on level surface, but we're gonna shoot them and see how it goes.
watching this belt and it didn't seem to slip.
So I think that's the project for today. What my father-in-law is talking about is that I think we can add tension here so that the bales actually fly farther. I'd always thought it was because the spindle was broken up there that the bales didn't throw very far, but really this looks homemade. But that's a project for another day. I'll have to see if I can get some springs and add some tension. I know that one of you commentators mentioned that I can adjust the tension. If you're watching this video too, tell me, is this where you adjust the tension so that the bale throws farther? It throws far enough, so I think we're good for now, but I'd always love to make it better. Thank you, everybody, for the advice. I do appreciate the comments. I have a thick skin, so if I'm doing something wrong, like I said, I don't know much about this equipment, so let me know. Again, I have a thick skin. God bless. Have a good weekend.